So, Sam, you know how you sometimes say we're living in a sci-fi movie? Well, today I feel like I stepped onto the set of one of those films. I attended this mind-boggling panel on brain-computer interaction. Yeah, a thing of the future. Max was the lead panelist, decent chap, smart, knew his stuff. It led me to this crazy thought. What if we could integrate something like this into Neural Nest? Imagine a world where AI tails you so closely that it practically is in sync with your brainwaves. Wild, right? Speaking of Neural Nest, I was caught up tweaking its prototype till late last night. It's like growing a bonsai tree. Each modification opens up a whole new perspective. Reminded me of those late-night study sessions at Berkeley, but this time it's not grades at stake, it's my venture. Kinda scary, but also thrilling, you know? The panel made me think about Neural Nest and how we can take it further. Having it access to our brainwaves? Rachel joked about it sounding like a tech horror story, and I cannot say I disagree. I mean, it's fascinating and horrifying at the same time, but imagine the possibilities. Like how every AI interaction could be so personalized. But then, the whole privacy and security part, of course, we'd have to walk on eggshells there. Anyway, changing the subject, Sam got hit by a wave of nostalgia today. He found a cover of Killer Queen on YouTube. Gotta admit, nothing hits like Queen's classics. Makes me think, isn't it incredible how some songs just have the ability to transport you back in time? Sounds cliché, I know, but isn't that the charm of music? Okay, here's a food for thought. What if one day, AI could also dissect and understand our taste in music? Going beyond mere algorithms, could it predict the exact song that would hit the sweet nostalgia spot? Haha, maybe I'm thinking too much. Oh, and remember the live concert we were planning for next Friday? Let's try something different. Rachel suggested going for some reggae this time. I think it could be a nice change of pace. I'll look up some options and let you know. Okay, times like these I wish coffee could work its magic and help me brainstorm some more. But alas, my current 2-cup limit is doing nothing to keep away the exhaustion. I'm feeling like a hiker who's lost the trail. I need to take a time out and revisit all this brain-computer stuff with a fresh perspective tomorrow. So, serotonin levels skyrocketing as I've embarked on this week-long culinary adventure. Can't tell you the joy of prepping meals from scratch. It's therapeutic, you know. The chopping, the sautéing, the smell of herbs wafting through the kitchen. It's like hiking, but in a kitchen. Each step, each ingredient leading to a savoury summit. Does code ever smell, buddy? Haha. We started with Mum's Pajon recipe today. It tasted just like childhood. A pinch of love with flavours of nostalgia. Just stirred up a warm pot of memories when I shared it with Sam and Rach in the chat. Surprising with Sam, despite being Mr. Microwavable Meals, expressed that he misses homemade food too. I guess there's something universal about the warmth of home cooking, eh? Also, guess what? Rach and Sam got hooked up with my cooking thing, and now we're having our very own mini MasterChef. Look whose love for pixels is mellowing down to picking up pans, sent him Mom's old recipes. This challenge has certainly made this week quite interesting, a wind of change swirling around sauté pans and chopping boards. It's piqued their creative side too, an entertaining break from code, lines and circuits. To be honest, it's also my subtle push towards practicing better self-care. You know, startup stresses can take a toll, and this cooking challenge is my microclimate in this overarching entrepreneurial weather. It's all about working those knife skills instead of keyboard skills and fueling creativity over taste buds. So the same underlying startup vibe, just marinated with different spices. Also, it's interesting to rethink how my diverse experiences, from playing Go to being in an AI startup, seep into every layer of my life. Just like how this cooking challenge has become an extension of my creativity and competition. I wonder if a Go board could have been a kitchen and startup stress, the seasoned broth. Funny how hobbies and interests interplay and stir up interesting analogies. There's also this voting on the best dish at the end. I've got a game plan for that. I'm pulling out all stops, even if it's against pixel-loving Sam and Rachel, who probably has a secret French cookbook. A friendly competition. Nothing like Neural Nest's pitch, but stirring the same energy and excitement. Honestly, I love this thrill. It's just a different arena this time. Speaking of arenas, we need to get back to planning our hiking trip. Might even be able to persuade Sam to swap his gaming console with a pair of hiking boots for a while. We can promise slabs of Pagan at the end as a lure. Haha, okay. Now that I've exhausted my cooking metaphors. Okay, you know how we sometimes do things on a whim? Last night was exactly one of those nights, buddy. I hosted this impromptu AI-themed trivia night at my place. Yeah, something I just decided to try and turned out to be quite a hit. Alex, Rachel, Tom, all of them were present, and let's not forget, all tech enthusiasts. Getting people to turn their tech brains on, amidst all the pizza and laughters, was truly a sight to witness. I mean, who would have thought nerdy trivia could be that much fun? And, oh, speaking of Rachel, she discovered this fantastic new track, Feel Good Inc., by Gorillaz. Have you heard it yet? It's one of those tunes you can really get lost in, you know. I mean, the beat. It's so refreshing for the ears and it gets you in an instant. You can actually see the influence of technology and creativity blurring lines in their music. It's commendable. You know, you should really check it out. I bet you'd like their vibe. Oh, and while on the topic of music, let's not forget food. Rachel was quite curious about what I was cooking, and turns out she loved it. It was nothing fancy, just my spicy Korean chicken with chili paste. GoChuJang. Their reaction was worth the effort, considering they'd never tasted it before. You should have seen Sam's face when I told him about the chili paste. He was like a kid with a new toy. We're having the next trivia night this Friday, and this time, they've asked for Korean chicken skewers. Challenge accepted, right? I must say, I'm enjoying these little spontaneous events. I guess it's a good way to take the edge off, especially with all the stress around the startup. There's always something to learn from each other, even within our friendly banters. Honestly, it's more or less like a stress buster in the middle of a whirlwind called Neural Nest. There's always so much going on, but those small moments of socializing gives a perfect breather. All right, buddy, I got to wrap up here. The startup's demanding me, as usual. Get back to me with your thoughts on Gorillaz. I'm genuinely curious about what you think of their music.